Good evening, folks. This is Jeremy Attaway with Redneck News. Today we've got a lot of news to cover, and I'm probably going to run longer than my 2 minutes that I normally run covering all this. Roy Moore has received the letters from the Birmingham Jail Award um, from a group calling itself the Coalition of African American Pastors. How Roy Moore uh, could receive an award for his courage to of what it's an award for courage. I'm not really understanding what's so courageous about harassing a group of people that make up maybe 2% of the population of the state of Alabama. Maybe there's some different um, definitions of courage out there. On my next item, I'd like to report Roy Moore has asked for Supreme Court justices to abstain from gay marriage vote. It appears that two of the Supreme Court justices have performed a same sex marriage, and he's afraid that they may lean towards same sex marriage because of their outside influences by same sex marriage since they had performed them. But I was also wondering, since Roy Moore is involved in uh, different sex marriage, maybe he's a little skewed toward that. And I have a few more ethical questions for Roy Moore, like on February 13th, 2015, Roy Moore said you can't separate God from the government, and that's completely opposite of what the Constitution says. Maybe I'm not a good reader, uh, but this is a Bible, and it's different than the Constitution, Roy, because a lot of people talk about our founding fathers. They envisioned this, they envisioned that. They came here from England and from Europe because they wanted to have religious freedom, and there were Catholics, there were Quakers, there were all sorts of people here in early America that had different religions, and of course, they probably couldn't imagine that. Uh, Here we are, this many years later, that homosexuality would be something that should be accepted and is accepted. But it's something to keep in mind that Roy Moore is married to a woman, and maybe he should recuse himself from any sort of um, um, court proceedings about anything to do with gay marriage, which he has done because he had such a strong position, as he claims. However, Alabama's Chief Justice Roy Moore ordered probate judges not to issue same sex marriage licenses. So the Supreme Court justices are to recuse themselves from the case, but you, who have a strong opinion on the subject, have ordered state probate justices not to issue these licenses. I thought that you had recused yourself from all of these proceedings, and that your hands were clean. I, I, I'm kind of bewildered, but then there's more. Oh, no pun intended. The Foundation for Moral Law and Moral Action, which is an organization that Roy Moore's wife heads up, and Roy Moore writes a lot of material for. Could that skew Roy Moore's opinions on things? Should he recuse himself and not order probate judges and send uh, cases back to the Supreme Court of the United States? Uh, Maybe Roy Moore should recuse himself because, as I recall, Roy Moore has been removed from his position as Chief Justice once before because he thought that this was the Old West and Roy Moore could do what he wanted. One more thing. Roy Moore, Alabama Chief Justice, orders a halt to same-sex marriage licensing. But that can't be right because he has recused himself from all of these things. He's recused himself. And he can't be made, he couldn't be making these rulings and these orders because he had recused himself from any dealings with this because he had prior feelings about it. Since he's involved in foundations for moral law, no, there's no way that he could be asking these two justices to recuse themselves because they may already have feelings about same-sex marriage, but he's heads up a foundation for moral law. But this was a video about congratulating Roy Moore for winning the Letters from the Birmingham Jail Award because he's so courageous. He's so courageous. Now, I had thought about 5 smooth stones last night, and Roy Moore is by far the most powerful man in the state of Alabama, and I'm probably the least powerful man in the state of Alabama. I live on a dirt road, and I don't have enough money for legal representation if Roy Moore decides to sue me for reading the words that he wrote and questioning his actions. But I was moved by the thought of David and 5 smooth stones, but it only took 1 stone. And I'd like to close in saying this is that I believe that there should be equality for all citizens in the state of Alabama, and that no one man should run roughshod and rule the state of Alabama, because I believe we fought a revolutionary war with a country called England because they wanted to rule over us and give us a king, and we don't need no king. Now, however, and I'll close with this, and it's paraphrasing Martin Luther. Here I stand. I have said these things, and this is the way I feel. Here I stand. I can do no other.